Musashi Maru is convincingly in the lead, reminding us of what the real power of a yokozuna is. When Tochiazuma won the last basho, there were many confident experts in Japan proclaiming the end of the old guard. How wrong they were. The likes of Chiyotaikai, Tochiazuma, Kotomitsuki have a long way to go yet to achieve the power of a real yokozuna. So at the start of day 7, we have Musashi Maru in the lead, along with Kaiho, 6 straight wins apiece. Behind them, Toki and Shimotori with 5 wins and 1 loss. And then 5 people behind them, Tochiazuma, Chiyotaikai, Takanowaka, Otsukasa and Aminishiki, all with 4 wins and 2 losses. Let's go to our first bout. It's between Tamanoshima of the Katonami stable and Takatoriki. Must have only fought once before. Tamanoshima won that. Takatoriki's on the downward slide though, whereas Tamanoshima is an up-and-coming wrestler. Didn't do too well last basho though. He's had some bad injuries, like all of them. But there's a nice little turn on the edge there. Amazing twists and turns by these big men, but Tamanoshima gets it at the end there as Takatoriki more or less throws himself down amid all that twisting and turning. So good start on day 7 for Tamanoshima. That gives him his 2nd win. He's had 5 losses so far. Not looking too good. Now we move on. Newcomer Shimotori, that's his real name. He's chasing the leaders. He's got 5 wins and 1 loss. Here fighting Kaiho with 3 wins and 3 losses. These two have never fought before, especially since this is Shimotori's first Makuuchi basho. Well, Kaiho, he's good at the swift changes on the tachi. Can come out and then suddenly change direction, but he's this time decided just to come straight out and go for the belt. Locks in tight on Shimotori's belt. He's got 2 hands in there, tries a leg hook, almost crumbles under the pressure of Shimotori's counter attack. Now they're both locked in on the belt. Kaiho the lighter of the two, but what a perfect throw that was. Shitatenage there. Underarm throw from Kaiho. Spun over the much bigger wrestler. Almost textbook stuff there. That's a veteran showing a newcomer what it's all about. Kaiho's been in Makuuchi Sumo 4 years now, since 1998. Daizen fights Tamakasuga. They fought twice before. Tamakasuga's won twice. Tamakasuga weighs in at 153 kilos, which is actually the Makuuchi average. And he's also about the average height of these Makuuchi wrestlers. That's 1.83 meters. But there, Daizen wins that one for the first time against Tamakasuga, quite convincingly, with a slap down, a hatakikomi win there for the older wrestler, 37-year-old Daizen. Next out, ex-world champion, amateur world champion that is, of sumo. This Dejima won it in '91. Now fights Takanowaka. It's now a route through. Look at that. Well, Takanowaka read that one beautifully. As Dejima came out, his head was a bit low, and Takanowaka just slapped him down. More textbook techniques from these wrestlers in the opening stages of day 7. 5th win for Takanowaka. He's doing very well, only 2 losses so far, and that was 4th loss for Dejima. Now Miyabiyama, his stable boss reckons he's about half his normal power. He missed out the last 3 basho. It's a bit of a headbanging start there, and then a swift pull down from Otsukasa on the bigger wrestler. Miyabiyama looking a bit of a shadow of his former self. Let's watch that one. Comes out, the head's bang, and then it's almost there. It looks as if Miyabiyama threw himself, which is not to say it's fixed, but he certainly is lacking his old power. 5th win for Otsukasa. He's also doing well. He's only in at my guess of 5 ranking, but nevertheless doing quite well so far. This is the Osaka Prefectural Gymnasium, where the sumo is always held in spring. Now, Aminishiki Comes from the same port town as Kaiho, both fishing families. Here fighting Tokitsuumi on the right. Tokitsuumi bangs head as they come out. Aminishiki drops his head a little bit low under Tokitsuumi's chin. Tokitsuumi gets away from that pressure and then tries to do the Owate Dashinagi move there, but he slipped. Looks like he hurt himself rather badly there. There's the Owate Dashinagi move, but then something happened in his leg there. You can see him clutching it, having trouble walking. Well, no doubt we'll find out in due course what that was. Did it himself. Nothing to do with Aminishiki. So Aminishiki wins that one, 5th win for him. And a possible bad injury to Tokitsuumi. Toki apparently hasn't touched those sideburns of his since he came into Makuuchi Sumo, which was 4 years ago. Here fighting Kotonowaka. These two have fought 11 times previously. Kotonowaka's won 9 of them. Well, they're both big wrestlers, both 178 kilos apiece. Toki, these are the heavy end of the scale. There are not that many wrestlers now, 170 kilos or more in sumo. Toki there trying an underarm throw. Now there's the overarm counter to it, and then followed up by a straight drive forward and a yorikiri nudge out by Kotonowaka. 3rd win for Kotonowaka, and that's 2nd loss for Toki. Next out, we've got the two Mongolians, Kyokushuzan, Asashoryu. One thing Kyokushuzan's not too good at is coming out fast from the crouch down, the shikiri. Let's see what he'll do this time. Needs to move his feet quickly. Well, he moves out, but his feet didn't move much. Certainly Asashoryu on the right there. He moves like lightning, and he's not one to respect his senior in the Mongolian camp. He's giving him a hard time. And there's a little bit of Mongolian sumo in the middle of all that. Quick tap to the knee when they were spinning around, and that knocked Kyokushuzan down. It's amazing, really. Asashoryu is only 130 kilos, not quite the lightest, but not far off the lightest, and yet he wins consistently against, especially against the higher-ranking wrestlers. Now Kotomitsuki. He's got 3 losses so far. His chances for promotion to Ozeki are fading rapidly. Needs to win this one. Needs to keep on winning from now. Here fighting Tosanoumi, who he's fought 3 times before, and he's beaten him 2 of those occasions. Both locking in tight, but Kotomitsuki just lost it then. Started to go sideways. It's like he's got an injury there. He's normally a lot more agile than that. Should recover from that particular move. Tosanoumi takes his 3rd win, and that was a win with Oshi Taoshi, a push down. But it looked to me more like Kotomitsuki stumbled past him. Nosato coming out, being very polite to his fellow wrestlers as he picks his way over them. That's Kaiho, who he will be fighting. Now Tochinonada, the Kasugano stable. He's fighting Chiyotaikai from the Kokonoe stable. These wrestlers belong to one of 53 stables under the umbrella of the Sumo Association. Some stronger than others, of course. Well, Chiyotaikai didn't seem to have his normal spirit there. We know he's strained his lower back before this basho. That's his 3rd loss, not doing quite so well, certainly not as well as he did in the previous basho when he had 13 wins and he was in the playoff at the end. So that was a 2nd loss for Tochinonada. Sorry, correction, 2nd win for Tochinonada. He's already got 5 losses. Tochiazuma, he won the last basho. In fact, that was in January. His father won the basho 30 years before that. Father now is, of course, the boss of the Tamanoe stable. Here fights Takanonami. So full start there. And another full start. Well, in sumo, the wrestlers start themselves. The referee doesn't start them. He says time's up, but after that, they start themselves. So they've got to coordinate their start. They haven't done that so far. There we see, first one, then the other. And there's the chief judge. Mild-looking individual, but he's giving them a hard time. And that was almost another full start there, but not quite. So they lock in. Now Tochiazuma, 2 hands on the belt. Takanonami hasn't got his left arm on. Now that's Tochiazuma lifted him up there, powered him up. Considerable weight difference between the two, some 20 kilos heavier than Tochiazuma. Lifted him up and then just threw him with the overarm grip over and out. So let's watch the lift. There goes the lift. It's 163 kilos going up in the air. And then comes the overarm grip, which just dumped Takanonami straight out the circle. There's a lot of power in Tochiazuma. He's only 144 kilos. That puts him at the lower, certainly the bottom end, as far as the weights go, of this top grouping of 40 wrestlers. Kaiho now against Wakano Sato. These two have fought 10 times in the past. Kaiho's got the edge there. He's won 6 of them, but it's close enough. Wakano Sato, short, squat wrestler, very powerful, noted for his strength in the sumo world. 151 kilos, just below the average weight for these Rikishi, but he's not very tall. So Wakano Sato, his right arm there, unable to get the belt, Kaiho's belt. Kaiho looking, he's got his left arm on, looking for the right arm, but Wakano Sato is blocking it off. You see, very classical position there, both wrestlers underneath, but Kaiho makes a run, and Wakano Sato uses that and drags him down. So Kaiho takes his first loss, and it looked like Kaiho had Wakano Sato on the run, but he used that driving surge of Kaiho's and just slapped him down with a pull drop throw. So 4th win for Wakano Sato. Let's watch this again. So Wakano Sato comes out, drops his head, but Kaiho there, you can see his hips pulled well back so as to deny Wakano Sato his grips. Wakano Sato's more upright, and that favours Kaiho a bit more. But still, Wakano Sato's denying Kaiho the grip on the far side. You can see that. Finally, Kaiho gets that grip, but it's broken. Each wrestler's only got one hand on the opponent's belt. Kaiho tries again to get that grip, and then Wakano Sato's hands creeping around there. On the belt again. There's that drive, and then, in fact, it looked like Kaiho's leg crumbled at the end there. Not so much what Wakano Sato did, but it was as though his leg gave way beneath him. Next, the man in the silver mawashi, which is not a regulation colour. He's said to have chosen that colour when he was looking at a Mercedes catalogue. It's just a fixed number of colours they're meant to have, but the wrestlers more or less ignore that. Here fighting Kyokutenho. These two have fought 8 times in the past. Musayama's won 5 of them. Kyokutenho just surviving that surge there. He's got his back to the edge, but he's run out at an angle. So Musayama takes another victory over Kyokutenho. 6 wins now against him. And Kyokutenho not really in that match at all. That's his 6th loss. He's only had 1 win so far. Now, the man with the cauliflower ear, Akinoshima. He's fighting Musashi Maru. Well, Akinoshima's been in sumo 20 years. He's been in Makuuchi sumo for 14 years. Musashi Maru's been in for 11 years, so they met each other very many times over that long period. Musashi Maru, it has to be said, is distinctly the more powerful of the two. Musashi Maru with 6 straight wins, Akinoshima with only 3 wins. So Akinoshima comes out, lowers a head, but it takes one arm from the Yokozuna, to push Akinoshima out. He charges forward, drives Akinoshima to the edge, and then with just one hand he pushes him out. So that puts Masashi Maru now in the lead, the sole leader with 7 straight wins. So let's watch that one again. There's the start. Akinoshima makes no impression with his tachi-ai against the bulk of the Yokozuna. There's the drive, and there's that one-arm push that sends Akinoshima over the edge. So at the end of day 7, it's Masashi Maru in the lead with 7 straight wins. Kaiho just behind with 6 wins and 1 loss. And then 6 wrestlers with 5 wins and 2 losses. Stay with us, we'll be back after the break.